bar mitzvah. Come over here, dummy. We'll talk. Bar is Aramaic for son. Mitzvah means commandment. The term bar mitzvah relates to a time in a boy's life where he begins to accept the responsibility of manhood. It's not just a time marker in linear terms, which you will hopefully look back on in 10 years or 20 years and say, hey, that was a fun day in my life, which it is. But rather, it's a time marker that you will look back on and frequently as a marker to judge where you've come from and where you're going. Pre-bar mitzvah, we say that the sins of the son are the sins of the father. Not that you had any sins, but just in case you did, I made the bracha at your bar mitzvah in Israel, Baruch shebatrani mo ein sheh hazeh. But post-bar mitzvah, you're now responsible for your own sins, and more likely, mitzvot, especially in your case. It said, it sure is an exciting time at bar mitzvah. It's the beginning of your gaining independence. Atzma'ut. Etzel, bone, has a similar root as atzma'ut. And when your bones grow, your spine grows. And you will learn to stand on your own 2 feet, figuratively and literally. There is a very similar reference to the time of the bar mitzvah in your parsha and Haftorah. Vzot Habracha signifies the end of an era where the Jewish people who had left Mitzrayim and beginning of a new era of life in Eretz Israel. This is the turning point where Hashem starts giving Bnei Israel more independence. The Anani HaKavod, the clouds of glory, or direct supervision, are no longer with us. Moshe, who had an unprecedented level of contact with Hashem, and who had communicated with him like no other human being ever did or ever will, had cared for and guided the Jewish people since their inception upon leaving Mitzrayim. Now, as Yeshua ben Nun takes over the leadership of Bnei Israel, they mature into a nation which is left to seek out communication with Hashem on their own, as a distance between them begins, and then a distance between them begins to grow. Compare it to driving on the highway with a police officer sitting right next to you. I'm sure you're not going to go to 55, even though you don't drive it. Compare that to traveling in the midbar. The same scenario where the police officer is there, but he's now invisible. When I say police officer, I want us to think of the terms of a benevolent police officer. Police officers are there to help us. As this relationship matures, a distance is created, a distance which is absolutely necessary in order for us to develop our free will. In Vzot Habracha, as you read so beautifully in front of all those people, and I've never heard so many compliments about any bar mitzvah in my life. Not that I should, because it's the first time I've been bar mitzvah. But it was unbelievable. It said, and there never arose a Navi in Israel like Moshe, who knew Hashem face to face, as he did. When the Jews moved into Eretz Israel, they did have Navi'ut, but this became more watered down as time moved on. As a child, you have grown from getting constant feedback, which I know you probably say that. But as time goes on, you learn to figure things out for yourself. As you move into manhood, remember, this is still a transition. You don't have the keys to my car just yet. Like the Jews moving into Israel, you too are moving into uncharted territory. you will make a new foundation for yourself. Hence the charge of the Vzot Habracha, Chazak v'yamatz. The Haftarah of the Vzot Habracha, Chazak v'yamatz. Chazak v'yamatz. Be strong and have courage. Along with this independence comes a new responsibility and a new awareness. Responsibility is the ability to respond to your environment. But why do you need chazak ve'amatz? Strength, chazak, is the ability to accomplish a task or to solve a problem. While courage is the knowledge. For example, lift up the chair or figure out this issue. But courage, Donnie, courage is the ability, is the knowledge that you believe in yourself. The knowledge that you know that you can do it. You can accomplish a task. Daniel means God, Hashem, is my judge. What is interesting is that we decided your name en route to your bris. It's not that we leave everything to the last minute. It's just that we had a couple of top choices. But your name brings out a major essence in your personality. Your desire for justice. Your mother and I glow with pride when we look at you. You have the zest and the zeal that it takes to accomplish all your goals as you go through life. You have the ability to really evaluate moral issues, and you have a keen eye for detail. But as your name says, moreover, you have a strong desire for justice. We, on this, your Bar Mitzvah day, we give you the bracha that you will always remember that Hashem, God, is your ultimate judge. And this concept will carry you throughout your life. Dani, as you know, it's been our desire to celebrate your Bar Mitzvah in Israel since the day you were born. Our most special events as a family happened in Yerushalayim. Your mother and I were engaged there. We were married there. You were born there, and we had your Pidyon Haben there. But one of the most moving experiences in my life was you and I approached the Kotel on your Bar Mitzvah day. As your Abba and the Baal Tshuva. To think how close I was to being one of the multitudes lost from Judaism. Instead, we were able to continue the link in this chain. We were at Har Moriah, the holiest place, the holiest site of the Jewish people since Avraham Avinu. We are part of an unbroken chain. How can we be assured that? How can one be assured that his connection to Judaism is everlasting? It is said that the true test of the Jewish commitment is whether or not you have Jewish grandchildren. You are witness, Donna, that your Grandpa Michael and your Granny Pam and your Grandpa Ken and your Nana Bobby and your Grandpa Herb, Paul Vishon, have a strong connection to the Jewish people and to Judaism.